Alright everyone, welcome to this video. In the last video we talked about using the range function and how you can use it to loop through a set of numbers and maybe define a specific pattern so that you can define number lists easily. In today's video, however, we're going to be looking at another type of list called a tuple. We're going to be looking at the major differences between a list and tuples, and we're going to see the different things you can do with them and why it's so different from a list. If you're ready for this video, make sure to drop a like down below, subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss my future videos, and check out the other videos on my channel. Make sure to hit the bell icon so that you'll be the first to receive my new videos in your notifications. With all that said, let's get into the video. So first things first, what is a tuple? Well, a tuple is a list that is immutable. Now in Python, when you say that something is immutable, it means that its values cannot change. Any value that cannot change is immutable. So an immutable list is called a tuple. It cannot be changed, it cannot be modified. Unlike lists, you cannot change the data inside of a tuple. Now to define a tuple, you just do the normal thing you do for a list, except you're going to use parentheses instead of square brackets. So once you define the tuple, you can access individual elements by using each item's index, just as for a list. So a tuple is similar to a list. The major difference is that it's immutable, it cannot be changed. For example, let's say we have some variables, maybe x coordinates, y coordinates, and z coordinates that should not be changed throughout the entire life of the program. We are going to ensure it doesn't change by putting it in a tuple, and then we can print the different indices of the tuple. Now let's say we're feeling kind of smart and we just create a tuple and try to change a value, one of the items in the tuple. Well, Python is going to try to change the value, but it returns a type error because we're trying to alter a tuple which can be done to a tuple. So Python is going to return the error, tuple does not support item assignment. So you should only use a tuple when you don't want a variable to be changed or a list to be changed. Now the rest of the operations are very similar to lists. For example, if you want to loop through a tuple, you're going to use the same way we use to loop through a list. I talked about this in the video on for loops. I'm going to put it up in the suggested videos now or in the description, and you can go check that out. But basically we use a for loop and then print every single value in the tuple. As you can see, it does the same thing as it does for a list. But now, although you can't modify a tuple, you can assign a new value into a variable that contains a tuple. So if you wanted to change a tuple, we can redefine the entire thing instead of changing specific indices inside the tuple. Now to do this, you're just going to have to define the tuple all over again and change the size or change the x coordinates, y coordinates, and z coordinates. So unlike lists, tuples are simple data structures, and if you want to store a set of variables that should not be changed throughout the life of a program, then tuples are your way to go. Anyways guys, that's gonna be it for this video. We've learned about tuples, we've learned about the major differences between tuples and lists. Also, we've learned how similar they are. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to drop a like down below, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and check out my other videos on my channel, especially the one on for loops if you don't understand how we loop through a tuple. Anyways guys, don't forget to practice, stay happy coding, and I'll see you in the next video.